nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Sulaiman Al-Ledo.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, commotion in the National Assembly as police stop lawmakers from gaining access into the complex. Senate President orders shutdown of the House until Tuesday. House of Representatives ignores the Senate President's order, goes into executive session and throws out requests for emergency elongation in the northeast states. The President warns politicians to desist from making utterances that are treasonable. And about 1,000 people killed in Ukraine despite the 2-month-old ceasefire between pro-Russian rebels and government.
On business news, National Summit on Entrepreneurship and Innovation drums up support for the development of entrepreneurial skills among young people.
And on sports news tonight, Habu Gumel fends off stiff competition from Sani Ndanusa to return as president of the Nigerian Olympic Committee.
Well, you call it drama, but it's real, and that's the commotion at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. Heavily armed policemen took over the legislators' complex, stopping the Speaker and other House members from gaining entrance into the building. Tear gas was fired by the police, but that did not deter the lawmakers who scaled off gate and gained entrance to conduct their sitting.
It all started with this long traffic at the entrance of the Parliament. By 10 o'clock in the morning, there were policemen in strategic positions searching vehicles going into the National Assembly. But that was the preliminary to the drama yet to unfold. The last gate was under lock and key. Furious lawmakers demanded explanations from these policemen at the gate, who refused to say a word.
Nigerian nation, this is serious. What is happening, my brothers? What is happening? Are you three citizens of this country?
Not even the arrival of the Speaker of the House of Representatives moved the police to open the gate. Like football fans scaling the fence into a stadium, the lawmakers started climbing the gate in defiance of the presence of the policemen who locked the gate to prevent them from holding the day's proceedings.
As you can see, we allow us enter to do our legitimate duties, our job that we have been elected to do, all because of the selfish reasons of some people that, we cannot tell.
Finally, the Speaker was forcefully taken into the premises by his supporters. Other lawmakers joined him as they moved towards the main building. Their approach met another resistance as police fired tear gas to prevent them from gaining entrance into the building. But the lawmakers forced their way into the Green Chamber, and the Speaker took his seat amidst solidarity songs from his colleagues. Angry lawmakers immediately started gathering signatures calling for the impeachment of the president. Meanwhile, the Senate president had access into the main building without any resistance. He received a briefing on the security situation from the police commissioner in charge of the Federal Capital Territory and headed straight for the House of Representatives chamber.
Yes, I will deal with our people today. Let's remove the motion here. You are killing us. What is he doing here? What is he doing here? What is he doing? Is he work out? Yes. What is he doing here? It's okay. What is the Senate president doing in our chamber? Who invited him? Official or what? Who invited him here? Majority of us have to grant the gate to shut up. Don't tell me that. If you say that again, I'll slap you. I tell you that. If you tell me I'm serious, I will slap you. I mean it to talk.
However, some of the lawmakers kicked against the Senate president's presence, insisting that he must leave the chamber. In the end, he left the House and issued a statement closing down the parliament till Tuesday.
Well, that commotion did not stop proceedings as the House of Representatives has turned down the president's request to extend emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states. Lawmakers rather advised President Goodluck Jonathan to invoke Section 8 of the Armed Forces Act and deploy troops to any troubled spots in the country. They, however, said that they may consider the emergency rule issue when they reconvene on December the 3rd. With the lawmakers' pronouncement, the state of emergency has technically ended from the position of the law.
After overcoming the resistance posed by the police at the gate of the National Assembly, there was a disagreement among members at the proceedings. When frayed nerves were calmed, the lawmakers received a letter from the president requesting for an extension of the state of emergency before proceeding into an executive session.
It has become imperative to request the approval of the House of Representatives for extension of the period for the state of emergency for a further period of 6 months. In view of the foregoing, I most respectfully request honourable members to consider and approve by resolution the extension of the proclamation of the state of emergency by a further period of 6 months from the date of expiration of the current period.
For over 1 hour, the lawmakers considered the events of the day. The outcome of the session was not disclosed when plenary resumed. The lawmakers advised the president to rely on his constitutional powers to deploy troops to troubled spots in the country.
Vis-à-vis the provision of Section 217, Sub 2C of the Constitution, the President should rely on that particular provision in using the armed forces of the Federation to address the issue of this insurrection till we will have the opportunity and privilege to pass the emergency rule in line with his demands. But for the time being now, if the House will agree, I will move a motion today that the House do adjourn till the 3rd of December, as we normally propose because of this emergency rule. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I so move.
For circumstances beyond our powers as parliamentarians, because we are under siege, we are unable to attend to this request. However, we are calling your attention to these provisions of the Constitution. If you so desire, you may take advantage of them, leverage on them, and continue to maintain security and order of those frontline states.
The House adjourned plenary to December the 3rd, which has technically ended the emergency rule as it expires midnight, Thursday, 20th November 2014. Paul Nwachukwu reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, we're not done with the National Assembly yet, as the Senate President David Mark has condemned the use of tear gas on federal lawmakers by the police, describing the action as barbaric. He also ordered the immediate suspension of plenary session in both chambers of the National Assembly. Correspondent Linda Kigbe reports.
It's an unusual scene at the National Assembly. Policemen firing tear gas at legislators. Lawmakers climbing the gates of the National Assembly to force their way into the chambers. All these in an attempt to prevent the Speaker of the House of Representatives from gaining access to the Green Chamber to preside over the House. To further prevent breakdown in the Parliament and to smooth frayed nerves, the Senate President made this decision.
Very unfortunate incident that has happened in the National Assembly this morning. I have decided that I will shut down the National Assembly until Tuesday next week. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate. It's unfortunate. We will invite the IG here on Tuesday also.
He also issued a statement after condemning the use of tear gas on senators and members of the House of Representatives by the police, describing the action as barbaric. Lawmakers in both chambers condemned the action of the police.
We had to trek from the lower gate that was blocked and came into this foyer and made this tear gas. The lower gate, which I said before, the lower gate have been blocked by a police truck. So we don't know what's going on. But we learned that the police, which is part of the executive, have taken over this place. So we are leaving the chambers, we are leaving legislative work for them.
The police have no right whatsoever to invade the premises of the National Assembly.
We just witnessed an unfortunate situation.
What actually happened today was quite unexpected. It was not an event that anybody was looking onto. But sincerely, I want to take this opportunity to apologize to the Nigerian people that it's a very sad experience.
It was very, very unfortunate because this is parliamentarian. The police should respect members. How can the police be pushing members and the members will be pushing them?
The senior special assistant to the president, Mr. Donyo Kukwe, said the incident at the National Assembly was unfortunate.
We wish that at all times, national interests will supersede all other interests, including personal and political interests.
The service chiefs were expected to brief the Senate on the effectiveness of the state of emergency in Adamawa, Yobe and Borno State in the last 18 months. But this could not happen as a result of the chaos in the National Assembly early in the day. The service chiefs are now scheduled to brief the Senate on Tuesday next week. But with lawmakers in the House of Representatives not approving the extension of emergency rule, the executive may need to begin to look for other alternatives to fight terrorism in the northeast.
In part 2 after the break, more on the National Assembly as lawyers react to today's commotion. Stay with us.